Hello everyone, how you folks doing? I got a bit of sad news today. Today is April 11th, 2024, and I heard that Akebono or Chad Royan passed away today. And so I thought I'd do this video as a tribute to who I call a hero in Hawaii. He made us all very proud of him, so let's talk about him. This is a tribute to Akebono. Akebono was born as Chadwick Mahalo Rowan on May 8th, 1969, and died today. He's an American-born Japanese professional sumo wrestler and professional wrestler from Mahalo. And he joined sumo in Japan in 1988. He was trained by pioneer and Hawaiian wrestler Takamiyama and rose swiftly up the rankings, reaching the top division in 1990. Now, after two consecutive Yusho or tournament championships in November of 1992 and January 1993, he made history by becoming the first non-Japanese born wrestler ever to reach Yokozuna, which is the highest rank in sumo. First one. Now, the wrestler who was born Chad Royan in Hawaii is regarded as a pioneer after he broke down cultural barriers in the centuries-old sport to become the first non-Japanese Yokozuna Grand Champion in 1993. So what an accomplishment. One of the tallest and heaviest wrestlers ever, Akebono's rivalry with the young Japanese hopefuls Takanohana and Wakanohana. And I remember Takanohana. He was a tough character, but he had really good moves. He had style. He really was good, and he was one of my favorites too. It was a big factor in the increased popularity of sumo at tournament venues and on TV in the early 1990s. During his 8 years at the Yokozuna rank, Akebono won a further 8 tournament championships for a career total of 11 and was a runner-up on 13 other occasions, despite suffering several serious injuries. Although his rival Yokozuna Takanohana, as I was talking about earlier, won more tournaments in this period, their individual head-to-heads remained very close. Let's talk about his early life. Chad Royan was born on May 8th of 1969 to Randolph and Janice Royan and was of Hawaiian descent. He grew up with 2 younger brothers, one of whom, Ola, also became a sumo wrestler for a brief period after Chad. And he attended Kaiser High School, where he played basketball. He was tall, he was like, 6'8", and became an all-star center. And he went to Hawaii Pacific University on a basketball scholarship, but sat out his freshman year. Okay. Let's talk about his sumo career, or early career. Now, Royan was planning to study for a career in hotel management. A lot of people in Hawaii do that. But he had always been interested in sumo from watching television broadcasts. And I used to watch sumo a lot too, on Kiku channel, I think it was channel 13. A family friend introduced him to Azuma Zeki Oyakata, the former Takamiyama. And I remember Takamiyama, who also originally hailed from Hawaii. Azuma Zeki overcame his initial concerns that Royan might be too tall and his legs too long for sumo, and agreed to let him join his Azuma Zeki stable, founded in 1986. Royan flew to Japan in early 1988. Okay, now adopting the Shikona, and that's Shikona is the name they give him for, it's a ring name actually that they use, of Akebono, meaning new dawn, in Japanese. He made his professional debut in March of 1988. This entry cohort was one of the most successful ever, producing two other Yokozuna, Takanohana and Wakanohana, sons of the popular champion from the 1970s, Takanohana Kenshi, as well as Great Ozeki Kaiō. Okay. Now, Akebono rose rapidly through the ranks, equaling the record for most consecutive kachikoshi, or majority of wins in a sumo tournament from debut, reaching sekiwaki before suffering his first makikoshi, or losing record. He was promoted to Juryo in March of 1990, the first sekitori from his stable, and to Makuuchi in September of the same year. He made his top division debut in the same tournament as Wakanohana, as well as Takatoriki and Daishoyama. Okay. Now, in the November 1990 tournament, he was awarded his first special prize for fighting spirit, and in January 1991, he earned his first gold star for defeating Yokozuna Asahi Fuji. In March of 1991, he defeated Ozeki Kunishiki, Kunishiki they call him, I guess, in the first ever match between two non-Japanese wrestlers in the top division. Now let's talk about promotion. So he got promoted to the highest rank. In 1992, after a year of 8-7 or 7-8 records near the top of the Makuuchi division, Akebono suddenly came alive with a 13-2 record in January of that year, narrowly losing the top division championship to Takanohana. A second 13-2 record two tournaments later in May saw him win the top division championship for the first time, and with it promotion to Ozeki. I think that's the second highest Ozeki as champion. After an injury during the summer, he went on to win consecutive championships in November 1992 and January 1993 to win promotion to Yokozuna, which is Grand Champion. And that's the highest you can go. Now, at the time of his promotion, the rank of Yokozuna had been vacant for 8 months, which is an exceedingly rare occurrence, and his promotion, despite the fact that he was the first foreign Yokozuna, was welcomed by many. He had met the stipulation of winning 2 consecutive tournaments that had been mentioned by the Yokozuna Deliberation Council when turning down Onishiki the previous year, and was also seen as having conducted himself with the dignity and humility necessary for such an exalted rank. One commentator remarked, this is what he said, he makes me forget he is a foreigner because of his earnest attitude toward sumo. Okay? Now let's talk about his Yokozuna era, and that's the Grand Champion era. Akebono was a long-standing and strong Yokozuna, lasting nearly 8 years in the rank. That's a long time to be Yokozuna, and winning the top division championship on a further 8 occasions. His career highlights include the rare achievements of winning the top division championship in 3 consecutive tournaments, and that's quite an accomplishment to do. It's very hard to do. In 1993. In July 1993, he beat Takanohana. Wow. And that was my man. I used to like Takanohana, but he beat him. And Wakanohana in consecutive matches to win the Honbasho, when all 3 ended up tied at the end of the 15-day tournament. And in May 1997, he defeated Takanohana twice on the final day. Oh, that's amazing. Once in the regular match and once in a playoff, to win his first title in over 2 years. The competition between Akebono and Takanohana, who reached Yokozuna himself in 1995, was said to be one of the great defining rivalries of the post-war Japan. Wow, that's amazing. Now, the two finished their careers, that's Akebono and Takanohana, with the 25-25 tie in bouts against one another. At the opening ceremony of the 1998 Winter Olympics in Nagano, a professional sumo wrestler was chosen to represent each of the competing countries and lead them into the stadium. After Takanohana fell ill, Akebono was given the honor of representing Japan in the opening ceremony, and that is truly an honor for Akebono. Akebono also led other sumo wrestlers in the ring cleansing ceremony at the opening ceremony, also meant to cleanse the stadium itself. Wow, he was really respected by the Japanese people. Akebono was quite susceptible to injury because of his height and weight. He was 6'8", and he weighed quite a bit too. He suffered his first serious knee injury in May of 1994 when, after winning his first 10 matches of the tournament, he lost a bout to Takatoriki and fell awkwardly. He flew to Los Angeles and underwent career-saving surgery. From November 1998 to March of 1999, he missed 3 consecutive tournaments due to herniated discs in his lower back and faced calls for his retirement. However, after receiving the personal backing of the chairman of the Japan Sumo Association, he scored a respectable 11-4 record. Amazing. In his comeback tournament in May of 1999. Gee, after the knee surgery, and that's amazing. In 2000, he enjoyed his first completely injury-free year since 1993 and won 2 tournaments, finishing as runner-up in 3 others. He won 76 bouts out of a possible 90, the best record of any wrestler that year. Now let's talk about his retirement. After winning his 11th top division title in November of 2000, Akebono suffered another injury after sitting out the tournament. In January of 2001, he decided to retire rather than face a daunting struggle back to fighting fitness. After his retirement, he became a member elder of the Japan Sumo Association as a coach, Oyakata, and worked with his former mentor in the Azumazeki stable. Azumazeki. He helped train the Mongolian wrestler Asashoryu. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Who also became a Yokozuna. And Akebono instructed him how to perform the doyo in iri, or Yokozuna ring entering ceremony. Okay, now, while in Oyakata, Akebono also appeared in TV commercials and opened a restaurant called Zuna. In June of 2013, he returned to Azumazeki stable for the first time since leaving the Sumo Association to oversee some training sessions as an assistant instructor. Okay. Akebono became a Japanese citizen in 1996 after retiring in 2001. He worked as a coach at the Azumazeki stable before leaving the Sumo Association in 2003. After an unsuccessful period as a K1 fighter, he became a professional wrestler. Amazing. In All Japan Pro Wrestling, he has been a 2-time Triple Crown Heavyweight Champion, 2-time World Tag Team Champion, and 2-time All Asia Tag Team Champion, as well as winning the 2015 Champion Carnival. In 2017, as a result of health problems, he became inactive from professional wrestling. He died of heart failure today in 2024, less than a month before his 55th birthday. Wow. The wrestler who was Chad Roy in Hawaii is regarded as a pioneer after he broke down cultural barriers in a centuries-old sport to become the first non-Japanese Yokozuna Grand Champion in 1993. Okay. Now, Japanese media said the wrestler who took the name To Akebono when he became a Japanese citizen in 1996 had died of heart failure this month, citing a statement by the U.S. forces in Japan. Okay. Rahm Emanuel, the U.S. ambassador to Japan, said he was deeply saddened by the news. He said in a post on X that the wrestler, who was 6'8" tall and weighed 514 pounds, at his heaviest, was a giant in the world of sumo. He was a giant. A proud Hawaiian and a bridge between the United States and Japan. Anyway, when Akebono became the first ever foreign-born Grand Champion, he opened the door for other foreign wrestlers to find success in the sport. Okay, throughout his 35 years in Japan, Akebono strengthened the cultural ties between the United States and his adopted homeland by uniting us all through sport. I send my sincerest condolences to his family and friends and to sumo fans everywhere. Okay, now Akebono, who was a familiar face on Japanese TV, entered the sumo world in 1988, becoming the 64th Yokozuna at the New Year tournament in Tokyo in January of 1993. He became a stable master after retiring as a wrestler in 2001. One of the heaviest and tallest rikishi, or wrestlers, in the sport's history, Akebono and his fellow Hawaiian behemoth, the 287 kilogram Konishiki, paved the way for a steady stream of foreign wrestlers, including 5 Yokozuna from Mongolia. Okay. Now, many sumo fans will remember Akebono for his fierce 1990s rivalry with the popular Japanese brothers and members of the sumo aristocracy, Takanohana and Wakanohana, both of whom went on to become grand champions. And I do remember Takanohana at that time. But boy, he amazing. He went head to head with that guy. And so proud of him. Well, Akebono, we're gonna miss you. You're a hero of Hawaii. And we'll always love you and always remember your legacy. Rest in aloha, big guy. Take care. God bless you and your family. Mahalo for watching, and